I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Wednesday edition of Running Point on Ysn Live, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig alongside Ty Bartell. So we pop him in here. Oh, oops, oh, we don't want to see that much of our faces. Get our boxes up. There we go. Ty, what day is it, Ty? What day is it? Ty, what day is it?
Happens to be hump day, but it also
Welcome
sectional
to,
semifinals for girls basketball.
Yes, sectional
Division 2
semifinals
through
all
4.
start today. The girls basketball regular season wrapped up last night by all teams, and now it's tournament time. And we're pivoting a little bit. I know you're used to seeing Gary with us right now, but Wrestling Wednesdays has kind of moved this week to Friday to accommodate for Coach Mark Hewlin of the South Range Wrestling team. He's going to come on Friday to talk about not just the state championship, but also what promises to be an electric atmosphere in their final home duel tomorrow night against Rootstown. So after that, he'll be able to come on and talk about that final home duel, the atmosphere. I think it's going to be a sellout. I mean, they're going to have both sides of the bleachers open. The mezzanine is probably going to be open. It's going to be rocking in the Raider Dome, or as I lovingly call it, the Thriller Dome in South Range tomorrow.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, community's going to show up and support tomorrow night. It's going to be a big one for the
Raiders got wrestling fever right now, man.
I mean, and the entire community going to support its champions too, because they're going to come out whether they're wrestling fans per se or not. I feel like you're going to see them out there supporting.
You should have seen, like, if you didn't see the YSN live on Sunday when we were at the welcome home, I don't know if you want to call it a ceremony or a celebration, whatever you want to call it. There were easily 200 people just waiting in that little enclave. I don't know what the walkway to the door where it's under cover. Just like playing "We Are the Champion" on loudspeaker. Just waiting for that team to get back to South Range so they could celebrate. It was something else.
Yeah, and I mean, congrats again to South Range Wrestling Team, and look forward to Friday's show. It's going to be a fun one.
But don't worry, we still have guests today. We're going to be talking to Jenna Smith from Garfield Girls Basketball at 12:30. She is the newest member of the 1,500 point club, as she eclipsed that a little bit earlier this season. And then at 1:35, we are going to talk to Aaron Blatch, the head coach of the Crestview Girls Basketball team, about his big matchup tonight in Pymatuning Valley for the Rebels.
Yeah, and I mean, Aaron Blatch is the one that kicked off all these coaches' interviews for basketball, and now he's going to be the latest one to do it. So now we got a Blatch sandwich.
Yeah. Oh, geez. A Blatch sandwich. And if we really want a Blatch sandwich, we should get Ethan Blatch on, too, the assistant.
Yeah, there you go. Just get all the Blatches on.
All the Blatches.
But what a great season that Crestview girls team had, despite being as young as they were, and they got some young
past tense. It's not over yet, Ty. They still have work to do.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I'm talking
yet.
I'm talking regular season being over now. I mean, they put up a great season too in a tough conference, and some young stars emerging now over there in Crestview, and a lot to be excited about. I think
Lorraine Gaskins has broken the record for blocks in a season.
She's going to be something else. Oh,
maybe the career blocks record is in jeopardy. I guarantee it probably is. If you break the record your freshman year, then all of a sudden that career blocks record starts to get really nervous.
If you break the single season record in a season, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's probably also accounting for the fact that she's probably at least on pace, I would say, for 1,000 point club, if she averaged over 10 this season, I'd say I think she did. And I could double check on that, which I mean, doing as a freshman, getting varsity time and being able to do the things that she's been able to do this year has been absolutely amazing. And I think the entire Crestview community has something to be excited about with this girls team because there's a lot of upside to it.
And they also, I mean, they mix the young talent, and we've talked about this with Crestview a lot, but they have great senior leadership too. So it's a good blend. It's a really good blend over there.
Yeah, Crestview was 11-11 on the season, and you know what? That's a down year for some of these programs over there too, because Crestview has a proud basketball program, and those girls put up a heck of a fight and get 11 wins for a lot of these girls being freshman starters and a lot of freshman sophomores getting playing time this year. That's impressive. Lavraine Gaskins averaged 13.7.
Whoa, way over 10. There you go.
Points per game. She also averaged 12.9 rebounds, 2.5 steals, 4.4 blocks. That she led the team in all 4 of those categories. She's a freshman, folks. She's a freshman. She's going to be scary. She's going to be scary in this conference for the next few years.
Let's go into the recaps from last night before we talk more about the tournament for tonight. Salem got the win over Western Reserve 62-51, and that Elevation Emperor kept doing his thing. An alley-oop dunk in the middle of that game that just got the crowd. It was almost one of those ones where even the home crowd's like, all right, that was cool. You win over the home crowd when you dunk like that. 62-51, Salem wins over Western Reserve. The Struthers, they pulled out a thriller against Fitch, 77-75. And for the Falcons, it's yet another close loss. They've had a lot of those this year.
They can compete with the best of the best, though, and it's usually, though, the rebounding that comes back to hurt them a bit, as Struthers, I had the height advantage, as most teams have against Fitch this year, and that's where Fitch really struggles is in that rebounding department, and when they can't win in those boards, it's hard to win games, give a lot of teams second chance opportunities then.
Mooney used a 20-4 run in the middle of the game to escape South Range. 54-41, they spoil senior night for the Raiders.
Yeah, you won the night on me last night, Anthony, 4-2 overall, but this is one I at least got on you, and thankfully Mooney went on a nice little run, and it made the score a little bit better for the overall night for me.
At least I didn't I cut that lead down from 19 to 17.
Yeah, you did. You cut it a bit.
No, but the South Range, I mean, they controlled this tempo early, and this is the game I was at. It was 6-2 after one quarter of play. Like basically because South Range was just holding the ball and being patient on offense and not turning the ball over. Mooney didn't get a lot of possessions in the first quarter, and they weren't shooting too well when they did get the ball. Second quarter, same kind of deal. They weren't really shooting that well. They were missing a lot of shots. It was 12-8 with like 2.5 to go in the half. I mean, this is a low scoring game. And then Mooney put on a press, kind of a half-court trap, and it caused a lot of live ball turnovers for South Range. They weren't ready for it. It kind of switched on them. And a lot of live ball turnovers led to easy buckets. It gave Mooney a lot of momentum in between the second and third quarters when they went on that 20-4 run, turned the 12-8 deficit into a 28-16 lead at one point. And you can see 54-41, it really never got away from that 12-13, 10-point lead. I think the closest South Range got was 5. They made a little bit of a push towards the beginning of the fourth quarter, but they just could not muster up enough to stop Mooney. Mick Hergenrother took over that game in the second half, by the way. He is an athlete.
Yeah, they have a lot of good weapons over there, does Mooney, and they have some guys like Hergenrother that could take over the game, and he has a driving ability that's unbelievable, and when he's getting it from distance, too, he becomes a complete threat from all over the floor.
It was a great moment at halftime. South Range presented a check to Hal McHugh for the money that they raised for the Coaches versus Cancer on Saturday. McHugh, obviously, one of the legendary coaches at South Range, was the first South Range coach to win a league title outright in 1996. And unfortunately, his family's dealing with that monster cancer. So South Range was able to help him and his family with a very good check that they received on Saturday and presented on Tuesday. So it was a special night in the South Range community, and goes past basketball, goes past the final score.
Yep, absolutely. A special night for both teams to be able to raise that and make a difference.
Badger got the win over Chalker, a close one, 79-74 for the Braves.
Yeah, it's Badger. Nice little win to sharpen their teeth before the tourney.
The East Canton Hornets took a sting into Latonia, 60-25. East Canton gets the win in the Bears Den. Lakeview took care of McDonald, 52-34. Big defense by the Bulldogs. Warren JFK, they were on fire. They flexed their muscles on Lowville, 68-55. Eagles win that one. Boardman gets the narrow win over Massillon, Washington, 45-44. Riding that roller coaster. Boardman up and down and up and down.
Golf clap for you, Boardman. Nice win.
And then we go to Camel, the game that you were at, and a lot of things happened in Camel. Not only did they win 75-54 over LeBray, they had Kevin Moore get the 1,000-point club, and they clinched the MVAC championship
outright for the first time. For the first time since 2014, Kevin Moore becomes number 3 in Camel history to reach the 1,000-point club in his career. So that's an important milestone. So, I mean, 2 things ending. And also the win was number 20, which is the most wins ever in a regular season by a Camel Memorial team. Previous was 19. And their second highest win total in a season was 21-6, I believe, including playoffs. So they have a very real possibility if they win against Newton Falls and win one tournament game to win more games in this season than they ever have in program history.
Well, they knew it was going to be a special season in Camel, and it definitely has been. You had the chance to talk to Coach Canarino and Kevin Moore after this game to get their thoughts. Obviously, Kevin Moore, the big night, 1,000-point score. You can find that final shot that he made on our social media posts. You had a great call, and let's see what you had in the post-game interviews with Kevin Moore and Nick Canarino as Camel gets the win over LeBray last night to clinch the MVAC championship outright.
Welcome back, everyone, as I am here now with MVAC Gray champions, Camel Memorial head coach, Coach Canarino. And, Coach, with the win over LeBray, you guys, I believe, outright now have secured the MVAC Gray Championship. The first one in 8 years. I believe 2014 was the last time Camel had one. Just talk to me about the feeling of being able to end that drought and be able to do it with this group of guys.
I mean, it's surreal. You know, this was one of our goals when we came together in the summer. It was the only one we could accomplish in the regular season. Just kind of, like I said, it's just surreal thinking where we started from, 6 years ago to where we are now. And again, this group of seniors is phenomenal. The crowd was awesome. Just a lot of fun tonight.
Talking about that, too, I mean, you guys now secure win number 20 on the season as part of being undefeated in conference play. Most wins, I believe, now in the regular season. Unofficial, we'll double-check it, but I believe unofficially most wins in the regular season for Camel. What's it mean to you to say that it was your coaching and it was this group of guys that were able to hold that honor now at this school?
I mean, it's special. It's special. Obviously, the credit goes to these players, special group of kids, just how unselfish we are, how much we like each other. I say it all the time. They don't care who scores. They just care that we score. Our bench is engaged. It's a lot of fun.
Kevin Moore, third player in Camel history now to have that honor of 1,000 points in his career. Talk to me just a little bit about just how special that is, as now he's pretty much immortalized with this Red Devils team in this school now.
Yep. I mean, again, what a journey. He kind of got thrown in as a freshman. We had an injury that year, and he kind of played a little bit more than maybe he was supposed to, but I think it really shaped him into what he is now. And, I mean, he's always working hard. He's always in the gym. He's always getting extra reps in. I mean, he's our leader. Kids feed off him. He's an awesome kid to coach.
As the last time you guys played LeBray back on January 28th, it was a close one. They pushed you. It was overtime. You guys came away 8-point victors in this one. Not the case tonight. 75-54, you guys took care of business, never trailed in this game, took the lead from the onset and never let go. What did you see from the team that was working so well tonight, and what did you like most about seeing this second-time matchup with LeBray and what you saw from them?
I mean, we knew what was in front of us. Our focus was to win the league. We didn't want to wait till Friday to maybe have a share of it. We want to take care of business. Every kid in the locker room, same thing. We were focused, and, I mean, that first half was just incredible. Moving the ball, getting some turnovers. And when we're playing like that, we're hitting on all cylinders. We're very hard to beat.
Final question for you. Last game of the regular season, I believe, is Friday. You welcome Newton Falls into town for second matchup in a very short amount of
In
time.
a week.
Yeah, and Newton Falls last time played you guys pretty close. What's it going to take for you guys to continue momentum and finish this conference undefeated?
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal. Falls played a heck of a game last time. We were lucky to come out of there with a win. But again, it's just hats off to these guys here. You know, they never falter. They always believe, and we made enough plays. So we're just hoping to continue on the right track to get going here with tournaments.
As Camel Memorial victors tonight over LeBray, 75-54. You could catch the Red Devils next time Friday right here at Camel versus Newton Falls, 7 p.m. on ysnlive.com. Coach Canarino, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Welcome back in, everyone, as I am now here with only the third member in the 1,000-point club at Camel Memorial High School now, Kevin Moore. Kevin, I mean, you got it, too. You were able to hit a shot,
Yes, sir.
three-pointer to get the milestone. Just talk to me a little bit about what that means to you, that your name is now immortalized with this school, and you're only the third player in this school to ever do it.
It feel real good. Obviously, you said I'm the third person to do it, and there's a lot of great basketball players who came in here at Camel, and be the third person to get 1,000 points. It's like surreal. It feel real good.
Talking about that, too, that was not the only accomplishment tonight. You guys also win the conference championship. First time in 8 years. What does it mean for you to be a part of this group that did it?
It feel real good. Honestly, coming into today's game, I really was worried about winning the conference championship. I'm a team player first, and I knew I was going to get 1,000 points, but I wasn't too much worried about it. I just wanted our first goal to be to get conference championship, and it feels real good.
Last time you played this LeBray team, they took you to overtime and pushed you to your limits. Not the case here tonight.
Yes, sir.
What was the difference in mentality with the team going into tonight's game?
Pretty much going into the playoffs, we wanted like a great statement win, and we marked this on our calendars. We knew we was able last game. The game should have been into overtime really. So at practice, that was just an extra chip we needed on our shoulders. So we was able to just come out and execute.
You were scoring leader tonight with 28 points, but Kayvon Moore also scoring 11 on tonight. Talk to me a little bit about his play as he was able to get the start tonight and put up some big points for you guys.
Man, Kayvon, it's always good to have somebody like Kayvon on our team because, he can do everything for us. He can play defense, get steals for us when we need him, get rebounds, extra buckets. So it was real good having him start today.
You guys had a celebration tonight, but the celebration continues into Friday. It's senior night, and it's versus Newton Falls. Talk to me about the excitement you have for senior night and the challenge Newton Falls is going to present. It was a close game last time you faced them.
Coming into the Friday game, we're going to have the same mentality we had today, pretty much get another statement win. We know it's senior night. It's going to be a lot of ups and downs with emotions, but we just got to stay level-headed, really, and just execute on Friday as well.
Call out any of those Camel community members that are on the fence about coming here Friday.
I appreciate everybody, really, the student section, alumni, teachers, coaches, trainers, just everybody being over, my family, everybody being able to come out today and show love. It's real. It's like surreal. It feels real good.
They want you to pack the house Friday. Get this gym rocking as the Red Devils take on Newton Falls Friday, February 18th, 7 p.m. Kevin Moore, your player of the game tonight versus LeBray. 28 points and the newest member of the 1,000-point club. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Appreciate it.
That was Kevin Moore of Camel after their win over LeBray. He is the newest member of the 1,000-point club. Not the only one to get it, though, last night. We'll talk about the next 1,000-point club member of the YSN family last night a little bit in our recaps as we get to that game. But great interview with Coach Canarino and Kevin Moore, as always, Ty. We continue our recaps as we go to Newton Falls getting the win 47-38 over Niles. So they'll be coming into that second matchup with Camel off a win and riding some momentum.
Should be a good matchup, too, between these two. And to be honest, Anthony, that was the only other game I got on you, and the one we split was Camel versus LeBray. Now, we both picked different teams, but I don't think either of us thought about Camel was going to win by the margin they did.
They just had a really good second quarter. Like I looked and it was like, 21-13 after one or something like that.
Yeah, they started off on a 7-0 run. And
all of a sudden, like at halftime, it was like 44-19. I was like,
yeah, I mean, I don't know what Camel's just hitting different levels. They're moving the ball really well, looking really good. But we know this Newton Falls team, if anything, they've always been competitive, and they're never an easy out.
The Tigers will try to break this trend, but remember now, that's twice Campbell has played a team that really got close to them a second time around, and the second time it wasn't as competitive.
Yeah,
Liberty they beat by 10, and this LeBray team that they pushed them to overtime, they dusted off. So Newton Falls is going to have to find out a code on how to compete for 2 games against this Campbell team.
It seems like when you play them close, they get tougher, and that's a scary.
It's like you tick them off, and they're like, "Well, that's not going to happen again." Cheney was in a battle all night, but they were able to pull out the win, 57-46 over Poland in Cheney. And Anthony Romo had the chance to talk to Coach Magahe and Isaiah Williams
Romo
after the win, and we love hearing Anthony Romo's voice on Running Point. So let's hear what he had to. Well, let's see what he got from Coach Magahe and Isaiah Williams.
Anthony Romo here with Cheney head coach Marlon McGawkey after the Cowboys' 57-46 victory over the Poland Bulldogs tonight. Coach, it was a district final rematch from last year. A lot of these Poland guys came back from last year's team. Just what did they improve on in this season to give you guys trouble there in that first half?
Oh, they well coached like they've been for years. They got a new coach this year, but didn't nothing change. We knew they was going to give us problems. I keep telling our players, we just can't just show up and expect to win.
The senior night here tonight at Cheney, just talk a little bit about what the seniors this year meant to the program.
Oh, they did everything for us. They've been playing for us since they were sophomores, so it's going to be a hard time for us when they leave.
Just talk a little bit about Matthew Jones, freshman phenom really for this Cheney team. He's played some huge minutes in the second half of the season. He's improved each and every game. Just what is his ceiling?
He's just getting started. Matt can go a long way. He's even a better football player. So he got that motor. He always keep going. He never stops. So he's our guy.
You guys, next game playing against a very tough Division I opponent in Hoover. Just talk a little bit about the tough scheduling that you guys have had these last few years and how it prepares you for the postseason.
Oh, that's what we've been doing, ever since we've been here. We got to play the tough schedule to play other teams when we get in the playoffs because you never know who's going to play.
Anthony Romo with Isaiah Williams after Cheney's 57-46 victory over Poland tonight. Isaiah, it was senior night tonight. Just what has these last few years meant for you at Cheney?
Sure. I've been here at Cheney since we started. It's just been a process. I love the process. I love what they do here. It's changing.
It's a district final rematch with Poland tonight. You played some crucial minutes last year in that district final. Just what did they improve on coming into tonight's match from the last time you guys played them?
They got stronger. A lot stronger. And we're physical.
Heading into the playoffs, so you guys have a few more regular season games coming up. Just what do you think you guys have to improve on heading into the postseason?
Just our mentality. We got to come out and fight. Come out and fight every game, not just come out and play. We got to come out and fight.
That was Coach Magahe and Isaiah Williams from Cheney after their win over Poland in a much tighter win than they got in the district final last year against Poland. And that was the game that saw Poland have a lot of players. I mean, Romo said they all came back, but that's true. But remember, Poland has a couple of those players that are hurt. Jack Fulton's not playing. Michael Gordon's hurt as well. So a lot of new players on this Poland team that weren't used to that Cheney speed or athleticism or whatever you want to call it. But Poland team put up a good fight, and this could be a rematch of something that we see down the line in tournaments.
Yeah, and it should be a fun one, too, if it does happen. But a good win for Cheney at home on senior night to kind of get this regular season momentum geared up for the playoffs.
Nothing getting easier. They have Hoover next for the Cowboys. And now we'll move to Springfield, 61-35. They put away Gerard and Bo Brungard. He just adds another little notch to his high school athletics accomplishments. I don't know what else he can really add. But 1,000-point club for Bo Brungard. He needed 2 points. He got 10, so now he's at 1,008. Springfield wins 61-35. Jake Joyce has really come on as a scorer. I mean, you saw in the first half of the season, more of a role player, more of a defensive juggernaut that could really D-up somebody. But this is, I believe, 4 straight games where Jake Joyce has gotten in double figures. So he's starting to become a secondary scorer. Adam Wary did what Adam Wary always does. He scored 24. He's a beast. And then Rothwell scored as well. So this is an offense that can just beat you any really way it really wants to. Bo Brungard, Jake Joyce, Rothwell, Wary. Doesn't
They're
really
going to
matter.
be a tough team. They're going to be a tough team, and seeing who Springfield could potentially match up with in this bracket and going down the line, I'm excited for it too, because this Tigers team has proven everybody wrong every single game they've played in, and did so again. Another win for them, still undefeated.
We continue. Unfortunately, Tom Siegfried will have to wait at least one more game to get his 200th career victory with Louisville, as Uniontown Lake makes enough plays down the stretch to win 51-46 over the Leopards. Wellsville, they are now in first place of the EOAC, 52-46. They win over Valley Christian. Our own Ian O'Brien had a chance to catch up with Bug Thompson after the win and talk about what it feels like to be in first place in the
Attaboy, Ian.
EOAC. So let's see what Bug had to say.
Ian O'Brien with Ysn Live here. The winning head coach, David Thompson. Coach, first of all, thank you so much for coming on. What a big win that you had here, 52-46 against Valley Christian. Talk about that victory.
We stuck to the game plan tonight, defensively and offensively. We moved the ball, and then there was times in the game when Zay took over. Jackson Brewer played great inside, and we rebounded. The whole team rebounded well in the zone.
Rebounded well indeed. Just talk about a lot of those players too. We had 27 points, a lot of free throws at the end there. Came in. Seemed like Valley Christian was coming back right there. How did you keep the momentum alive at the end?
Well, you know they're a well-coached team. Doug does a great job with those guys, and you know they're going to battle to the end, and that's what they did tonight. We missed some free throws, and it got real hairy there at the end.
And talk about real quick, a couple of days ago, got your 300th win, 301st win now. I guess we could say, what's it mean to you just making your way over here to this milestone career again to 301? You ever think that was possible?
No, I never really thought about it when I started coaching, but as we started rolling, start winning games and racking up wins, then it gets to 200, and then the assistants say, let's go for 3. My wife agrees everything's fine.
It definitely agrees that everything's fine and a big one here, but also talk about real quick, next couple games coming up. I know tournament time's coming up. How ready do you think this team is to go all the way this year?
I don't know how far they can go. If they stay focused, we can get to the district, and then it just takes some luck after that.
Coach, thank you so much, and congrats once again. 301, that's definitely a milestone. Can we get the 400 anytime soon?
Oh, no, not me. I won't be here for 400. I won't be here for 400. Somebody will, but not me.
All right, well, thank you, Coach, and go celebrate with your team on this big victory.
All right, thank you.
Wow. I love that. Love Bug. What a great guy. I mean,
well, to get another 100 under his belt, it would take a few more years, and I think
I don't think his wife would agree. I
think his wife wants some
that's
time.
That's the budding block, because his wife agreed for 300, and she's like, I don't know if we can stick around.
I'm so glad we were able to get Bug Thompson featured on here too, as one of the great coaches in our coverage map, and does a fantastic job with that Wellsville program. Yet again, they had 2 games in front of them. We said too, when we were talking about this EOAC 3-way tie for the top, we both said Wellsville's the one that controls their destiny the most. They would play both those teams. Went both of them close, but got Columbiana check and Valley Christian check to outright win the EOAC right now. And congratulations again to the Tigers. And with that also, we can proudly say that every school in our coverage map has had at least one basketball team featured on Running Point. So check off for that as well.
65-49, West Branch gets the win over Hubbard to bounce back. Jackson Milton girls get the win over Lisbon, 71-38. Their offense just needed a couple of days rest.
You got that one over me too.
They just needed a couple of days rest. Their offense just said, okay, we're done. I think they were all mad that they had to score 25 against Columbiana, but that was their 3rd game of the week, and they were playing with 6 players. So they just needed a couple of days rest. Now they'll have a couple more. They won't play again until Saturday in their tournament game. So
getting that bye week and earning that bye week, or that bye game at least, is huge for them right now, not having to play a sectional semi.
Jackson Milton looking to just make a run. Hopefully they can do it for everyone down there in that program. We are about to welcome in Jenna Smith of Garfield Girls Basketball as she pops in, and we are so happy to be joined by Jenna. Jenna, how are we doing today?
Good. How are you?
We are so good. Thank you for the time. You are the latest member of the 1500 Club in Garfield.
Yes.
How's that feel?
Um, it feels great, but like I think coming into freshman year is definitely I did not expect it at all. Um, but it feels great. I mean, I hit my thousands my junior year, so that was also a big accomplishment. But I just never expected to get here, to say the least. So.
How much do you think Coach Gilbert has played a role in your basketball career? And what do you thank him for, I guess, most as a coach?
He's done a lot for me. He was my AAU coach too for the last few years. So like being able to have him not only during the high school season but also my AAU season, it really helped a lot. Just build our relationship and stuff as like a player and coach. So I thank him for everything he's done, putting the work in with me and just having confidence in me and my teammates. I think that just played a huge role in all of our successes. So.
As we're talking about Coach Gilbert, and we talk to him a lot, he's on the running point a lot. We also see him on the sidelines a lot. But give us some insight into some things that people might not see that they might be surprised to know about Coach Gilbert.
Just like his love for the game. Like he may not like come off as a person who, I mean, yeah, he's our coach, but like his love for the game is incredible. I've never met a coach or like been a part of a program where they're like our coaching staff is just so involved. And I think that's one thing people don't appreciate enough about him is like he really just wants what's best for all of us and wants what's best for our program. So I think just the love for his game is just something that really goes unrecognized sometimes. So.
Going into the gym and being one of the leaders, I'm sure that Coach Gilbert uses you to lean on practices a lot too. So what is both his, but what is one of your biggest pet peeves in practices that you might see some of the younger girls doing that you just can't stand?
Just not being focused. But I mean, I love everyone and I love all the JV players. I love all the varsity players to death. But I mean, we like to have fun, and sometimes we do like slack off a little bit, and we'll play music and we'll jam around, and that's fine. But sometimes there's this like certain times where we sometimes get unfocused. Just everyone. I'm not pointing out one person in general, but so yeah, just staying focused, especially during tournament time. I think it's really crucial. So that's just one thing that I think is important in our success. So.
I imagine like halfway through the season, that focus got laser sharp, especially after that Fort Fry game in South Range. It seemed like that was kind of a turning point because before that, you were having leads, and you were kind of giving up leads in the second half. But after that Fort Fry game and then the Nordoni game that you won the day after, it seemed like this team was even more focused than they were before. Talk about, the season since then and how much growth you've seen from the team since that midway point.
I've seen a lot of growth, specifically just everyone knowing their roles on the team. I think that was really crucial going into the second half of the season, not only because of tournaments, but just like getting those wins. Coming off of those few losses at the beginning of the season, I think like us seniors, for example, I'm not saying that anyone else didn't think the same, but I think we just realized how important it was for us to like win out this season because it is our last season here in high school. So I think just those losses really helped push like our wins in the second half of the season. So I mean, just staying focused and pushing through was really helpful for us.
We heard it from Coach Gilbert's side when he talked about how the realization of how many games you have left when he starts talking about there's only 4 games left, 3 games left. How is the feeling now on your side now, knowing the number of games left now is determined on the outcome, and you guys kind of control how many games are left, and it's just about kind of enjoying the ride, but also trying to stay focused to win?
In my opinion, I think records mean nothing. So any team can beat any team on any given night, regardless of how many wins or losses they have. So our first tournament game's tonight. So like really, it could end from any point on from tonight to 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. So it's just like taking it all in, especially giving everything we have from here on out is the biggest thing for me. But it's definitely emotional knowing that it's going to come to an end here soon. But hopefully we can win out and hopefully make it back to regionals like we did last year.
Let's talk about this group of seniors that you call classmates and the group that you've been able to share this basketball journey with. We've talked to Sarah. Now we're talking to you. What makes this group so special, and what makes this bond that you have with your fellow seniors so strong?
The bond I have with them is so special. We've been playing together since literally sixth grade. Sarah and Cindy specifically, I grew up with them. I was always outside, shooting with them. We would play 2-on-1 sometimes. We'd mix it up. So like I've grown up with them. I've played basketball with them, even other sports like softball and volleyball. So it's definitely a really special connection. And even Caitlin, like I think our like friendship has grown really like strong over the last few years, just being able to play basketball. So all of them play a huge important role in my life and always will. So
Obviously, the basketball program has given you a lot too, but just talk about the school program in general too. What is some of the biggest life lessons you've learned from maybe a teacher or a coach?
just to give it your all the time. All my like coaches and teachers always tell me that like, just take it all in because like you'll never get this time back pretty much. So just give it all you got. And I think that really has stuck with me and will go with me into college and college sports and academics too. So yeah.
Who are some of the role models that you've had throughout your basketball journey that you've kind of looked to in the times when maybe because you can't go through a whole basketball journey without some downtime. So, well, who are some of the role models that you look to keep grinding and keep going when things get tough?
I wouldn't say I have like a specific like celebrity athlete or anything like that I really looked after, but I will say that the older groups, while I was in middle school and while I was a freshman and like even coming into my early years of high school, just those older girls really served as like role models for me, whether they were like my friends, my teammates, whatever they were to me. I think that I kind of like not like mimic them, but I really wanted to like kind of copy certain like characteristics that they have or something like that. So I always looked up to like certain teammates and friends, and specifically speaking, like the 2016 team, like with Grayson and Lauren, like they're all very good athletes. They're playing in college currently, and so I just think that those specifically stood out to me. So yeah.
And now that we follow that up, now you're in that role where you get to be the role model. You get to be the older player that gets to show the younger generation what it takes and what the standard is. How does that feel for you to know that all of a sudden the tables have been turned and now you're the player that the middle school girls are looking at and saying, I want to be like Jenna Smith one day?
It's definitely like shocking to me that like I'm even a senior this year. So like to think that there are girls looking up to me is crazy. So I just want to set a good example, and not only as like a basketball player, but as a person, just kind of serving as that role model, not like on and off the court. But it's special to me, like being able to have certain people look up to me as well, just like I did with people in the past. So yeah, it really means a lot.
Going into college, what is the thing I guess you're most excited for and the thing you're most nervous about too?
I'm gonna start off with the most nervous. I'm definitely the most nervous for just adapting to a new environment. I mean, I'm not gonna be too far away. It's only like 2.5 hours, so like it will be hard at first just to be away from everyone that I've always been familiar with. But I'm so excited to play basketball. Just that like connection, I guess the team has, Marietta has. It's insane. The coaches always are reaching out to me, and we have already a bond already. So I'm just really excited for like the relationships and just like the basketball side of it as well. So
When you look at girls basketball in the area, there are so many big relationships that you can build with not just your teammates, but players around the area that you either play with or against in AAU. What can you say about the girls basketball community in Northeast Ohio and how much it's kind of grown in the last, I don't know, 5 or 10 years, and how much you're proud to be a part of it?
oh, I'm super proud of being a part of this. Like I don't know, basketball community around me. There's so many good players, so it's like I think that we all all push each other in a way. So I think that those other players, like the other good players or the standouts from the other teams and like locally, have pushed me as a player too, kind of like playing against them or even playing against them in AAU. But it's always nice to have those friendly rivalries too. So I think the biggest thing is just pushing each other regardless of being on opposite teams. But I think it definitely has shaped me into the player I am today, for sure.
What is the biggest point of growth that you've seen from freshman Jenna Smith to senior Jenna Smith, and what you hope to grow on going into college?
Being more aggressive. I think coming into my freshman year and even my sophomore year, I was very timid. I think my ball handling kind of got better too with that because I feel like I really was like shy in the way I played in a way, and I feel like I got a lot stronger too. So that really helped junior and senior year and stuff like that. So I think just getting stronger and just like I think my basketball IQ kind of grown too. Just knowing where the spots are on the floor, just like everything to do with my IQ, I feel like got stronger over the years. So I think that's really crucial when going to play in college. So
Jenna, before we let you go, we like to give all of our players the chance to kind of shout out their support system, the people that have been there for them throughout their journey. So I want to give you the time to shout out the people that have been there for you throughout your basketball career.
Shout out the whole Garfield community, my family, my coaches. I wouldn't be here without you guys. And I'm so glad that I have a good support system to back me up during my whole high school career and into my college career. So thank you guys.
Jenna, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We love hearing from you. Good luck the rest of the season. We hope it lasts as long as possible. And we look forward to hearing from you again real soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Jenna Smith, the senior leader of Garfield girls basketball and the newest member of the 1,500 point club in Garfield. Not just 1,000. She pushed the envelope and went all the way to 1,500. Proud to be able to get a little bit of a highlight on her, and they'll be in action tonight in their first tournament game against Wycliffe.
Yeah, there's a lot of great games going on tonight too, and I mean it's going to be exciting too to see which teams can make that run.
We're going to take our first break of the day. When we come back, we'll talk about some of those tournament games, and then at 1:00 we're going to have Scotty Mincher come into the studio and talk whatever he wants to talk about, and also his trivia challenge with Ty that he always has. 1:35, Aaron Blatch will be joining us on the show live as well. All of that coming up and more on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring. And, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, shop with confidence knowing we're ready to go the extra mile for you. With the largest selection of used vehicles in the Valley, backed by the Greenwood Advantage Warranty. Every one of our vehicles has undergone our own 126-point inspection, so it passes the most important inspection, yours. No other dealership has the extra inventory, gives you extra for your trade, and goes the extra mile for you. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
For a great vehicle and a great experience, come to Boardman Mitsubishi today. As always, our full lineup of Mitsubishi models comes with a standard 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Boardman Mitsubishi, your hometown Mitsubishi dealer since 1999.
Coca's Pizza, always supporting our community and our local athletes. Stop in on game day or score big and have it delivered right to your door. Check out our daily specials at cocaspizza.com. That's Coca's Pizza, we serve it hot.
At Hubbard Chevrolet, Hubbard can help you get the financing you need, regardless of your situation. I'm Tony Page, and I've helped thousands of customers in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania buy a vehicle. Visit HubbardChevy.com to get pre-approved. Remember, folks, Hubbard can help.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig alongside Ty Bartell as we continue this Wednesday edition, and it's tournament time, Ty. We have sectional semifinals galore tonight in the girls basketball. They highlight our coverage, and I want to remind everyone, if you want to watch the girls basketball tournament games on tonight, it will be pay-per-view. This is due to the charge that the OHSAA is putting on us to stream. So therefore we have to kind of counter that with the pay-per-view block, the pay-per-view wall on the games tonight. So like everything else that we've done for pay-per-view, for football, for other tournaments, it's going to be $9.99, gets you access to that game that you want and every other game for the evening. So basically every game on the night will be covered with just that one $9.99 payment. It'll get you access to all the games on the network tonight, not just the one game that you kind of purchased. So make sure to get on that. You can get your virtual tickets at ysnlive.com and, go to your team's page. ysnlive.com/live is where you will find all the games we are covering tonight on the network as well.
Yep. As we're excited to be able to cover pay-per-view cover playoffs. Have to do the pay-per-view model, unfortunately, but we do thank all of our sponsors for being able to present the entire regular season for free for us. But for the OHSAA kind of putting us in a tight spot it kind of has to force us to the pay-per-view model. But we'll still be in all those gyms covering your teams throughout these sectional semis and finals.
Ty, do you want to be famous?
Yeah, let's do it, Anthony.
One of the games I want to talk about, we briefed over it, but I'm in the Division 4 Middle Ridge bracket right now, and the districts will be in Middle Ridge, but right now the sectionals will be at the higher seeds home. Latonia Valley Christian, they just played each other on Monday, and they're going to play each other again tonight, this time in Latonia. And this is a winner gets Lisbon opportunity, and I really think that the winner has a chance to go compete in the next round and get into a district semifinal. What do you think about this matchup, Ty? I mean, you said it before. It's hard to beat a team twice in the span of 2-3 days. But Latonia has just seemed like maybe in a little bit of a better spot than Valley Christian this year. Of course, Valley Christian is trying to replace a lot of players from last year. And Ella Gregorino is one of the best scorers in the EOAC. Might win EOAC Player of the Year. Maybe. We'll see. What do you think about this matchup between Valley and Latonia, another EOAC matchup? And really, it's going to be 2 in a row because the winner gets Lisbon. So back-to-back EOAC matchups in the Middle Ridge sectionals on the very top line of the bracket.
Yeah, Latonia just won too at Valley Christian. So, I mean, we'll see if they'll be able to continue the momentum at Latonia. It'll be interesting, though, because, Valley is going to have to come out with not a completely different game plan, but they're going to tweak some things you would think too, and they're going to come out with a fire and fury. Now that they've seen you once, they kind of know what to expect and have that memory fresh going into the second matchup, but so do you. So it's going to be a chess match between coaches in this one, and we'll see who comes out on top.
That score for that game, by the way, was 43-32. Latonia got the win in Valley Christian. Just for reference. I think it can be a little bit closer. Valley makes a little bit of adjustments. 11 points is not to the point where you're not in a striking distance. It's 4 possessions. But it also could not be as close. It could be Latonia making adjustments and swinging the way of you never want to see a blowout, but swinging the way of a more one-sided affair tonight.
We'll see.
I picked Latonia in our bracket, and I think you did too.
I did.
Winner goes on to play Lisbon on Saturday in Lisbon. The next line in the bracket, Springfield playing Sebring tonight. We also have East Canton against Warren JFK on the next line of the bracket. We're in the Middle Ridge District, and then finally we have Newton Falls playing as well. Let's look at the fan vote and see where they're at in these games too. On Twitter, you can go and pick these games along with us. We've already made our tournament picks because we fill out every bracket on Friday. But when you look at the fan vote for tonight's tournament games right now, you'll look at it, and I'm going to pull up the Springfield has all of their votes, so they are up 100%. JFK 57% to 43% over East Canton. Right now, Latonia has 60% of the fan vote as far as the fans think is going to win this game. So very interesting. Ty, I have East Canton beating Warren JFK, but now I'm second guessing that one.
Yeah, I took JFK in that one, and I think you should be second guessing yourself a little bit, Anthony. But
you can't change it. We've already pinned it. We did our bracket and pin, so we can't change it. But that might be one that you get on me.
Yeah, it might be. We'll see. All these games, winners go to play on Saturday.
The last game on the fan poll, by the way, for this Division 4 Middle Ridge District, Newton Falls has a 78% chance, according to fans, to beat Wyndham tonight. So Falls, Wyndham, East Canton, JFK, Springfield, Sebring, Latonia Valley Christian, all happening tonight in the Division 4 Middle Ridge District. I mean, in the Middle Ridge District, but they're sectional matchups. So, going to be a fun one. I think the East Canton, JFK, and Latonia Valley in this bracket are going to be the most interesting matchups.
Yeah, for sure. In this first sectional semis, and I mean, all these winners will go to the sectional final matchups on Saturday.
The East Canton Wizards, not the Hornets. Remember that their girls basketball team has their own name. And I remember last year looking up why, because I was like, that is very unique that the East Canton girls team is the Wizards and everyone else is the Hornets. And I think I remember it being their coach, like back in the day, wanted more attention or respect or uniqueness, or they wanted the girls program to stand out. So he just changed the nickname to the girls program. And then he went on to win a lot of games. So to honor him, they just kept it as the Wizards. So girls basketball team in East Canton is the Wizards, not the Hornets, like the rest of their athletics program.
Unique story over there in East Canton, and I like it. And actually,
I remember you calling the East Canton game
the
last year in the Western Reserve, and you were like, "Wait a minute, do I have the right roster?"
Yeah.
It says Hornets.
Hornet looks exactly like the one on your hat right now, Anthony. Too.
This is a yellow jacket, though, guys, not a Hornet. Don't.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what the East Canton one looks
like. A yellow jacket is a Hornet, I think.
So it's a type of wasp, I think. Yeah.
Is it a wasp or is it a Hornet?
I think it's a yellow jacket wasp, right?
Oh, we're gonna have to look that up now.
We might have to look it up, but
maybe
those are all the Division 4 matchups, correct?
What?
Oh, those are all the Division 4 sectional semis, right?
For the Middle Ridge District, yes. We have the other Grand Valley District as well. Lowville is going to be playing tonight. I have them winning. McDonald will play Heartland Christian. Western Reserve plays Wellsville. And Cardinal plays up there, but that's not a YSN team. So I think this Lowville game could be really interesting too.
Yeah, remind me again who Lowville's playing.
Let me look at the fan vote because that's a lot easier for me to see than the bracket.
I don't have the bracket right in front of me. I have to shuffle through some.
Matthews versus Lowville. Right now, Lowville has 75% of the fan vote. Matthews. I think Lowville absolutely can win this game.
I think so as well. Matthews has a solid program, usually both in boys and girls basketball. Even if they're having down years, they're still respectable. But Lowville, like I've said all season, when they get hot from distance, man, they can really put it in. They're a good 3-point shooter.
This is why I don't read the brackets because I have to do this to see it.
Yeah.
Lowville will play Badger to the winner of this game, I should say, will play Badger. McDonald's got a Heartland Christian. And McDonald's been looking really good. Last 2 games without Lucy Wofford. Now Lucy Wofford will be back, I think, for this game tonight. So it should be a full force McDonald team starting their run to go back to the state championship game. We'll see how far they can go.
Never know what could happen in Division 4. That's for sure.
I'm just hoping for this McDonald Western Reserve rematch in
that would be great.
District semifinals.
That'd be great.
It'd be the first time in a while that they meet up in the semifinals of the district. For the last year, they met in the regional semis, and in the 2 years before that, they met in the district championship. So this would be the first year in a while they meet in the district semis.
Never know. We'll see. Might happen.
That's Division 4. We'll talk about Division 3 and 2 in a bit, and we'll also talk about that Crestview Pymatuning Valley matchup with Coach Blatch. But right now, Ty, it's time to bring in one of our very good friends and very welcome member of Running Point every Wednesday. As soon as Super Dave gets them all situated, I don't want Super. There we go. We're good. Scotty Mincher in the throwback. We can say throwback now because Indians are going away.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at full screen that for a second. Just look at that. Pitchers and catchers were supposed to report, Scotty, and I love that you're still bringing baseball energy in here.
Oh, yeah. I have to, man. Hey, we don't have we're not going to have the pros in all likelihood. At least spring training, it's not going to start on time, but at least we have YSU baseball.
Absolutely, Scotty. Friday, right? Yeah.
So,
I think.
Yeah, that's something.
You know what's the best thing about YSU baseball? Richie Giuliano being on the call.
He is a
superstar.
He is. He's got the baby face and everything. So, he's it when it comes to what you want in broadcasting. Shout out to Richie.
Shout out to Richie. Richie, if you're watching, buddy.
The baseball guy.
You better be watching.
You better be watching.
Better be, or else.
Or else. Scotty and Anthony are coming for you.
Yeah.
You don't want that happening.
No, he doesn't want that at all.
Scotty,
It can get real messy.
What did you bring to the table today? You always bring such great gems to our wonderful show on Wednesdays.
Yeah, today to start off, obviously I got my questions for Ty, and I got more. I tried to get more just obscure with them and random, but I have a feeling Ty's gonna just
Now,
get
where's the
them anyway,
confidence?
'cause
Come
he
on.
knows.
I think he's trying to he's trying to hustle you a little bit.
But first off, before all that,
He's trying to hustle you.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the high school ranks in basketball. Anthony, I heard you a little while ago talking about Bo Brungard, and I follow the action. I try to follow it as much as I can. I'm not as intimate as you guys are, and I haven't. Yeah, maybe that's
Whoa.
that's poor choice of words. But you're right up in the. You've done a lot of players interviews, coaches interviews. So I just wanted to know from your guys' point of view, because when I think of Bo Brungard, and this might be, me being a little too not expanding my horizons as much as I need to. I think I have, but I still, when I think of Bo, I can't help but think of the football player and the quarterback that led him on, great runs in the postseason and the playoffs. And then the basketball player kind of comes second. But what I wanted to know from you guys is what obviously you got is 1,000 points last night and scored in double figures. But what impresses you most from Bo Brungard, the basketball player?
Want me to take it?
Yeah, Ty, you take this one.
I'd go off of. I wouldn't say intimate. I'd say basketball junkies are the proper terminology for that. That's what we are, Scotty. We're just a couple of basketball junkies. But talking about Bo Brungard, I think what is so good about him is he is deceptively quick, and also he is a lot bigger and broader than you think when he doesn't have that football gear on too. So you think that football gear helps beef him up a bit. No, he's pretty big underneath those pads. So he has the size to him to where he can match up with some post players really well. But he has this deceptive quickness to him too, and it's with and without ball quickness. He moves off ball pretty well, but even on ball with he has that quickness to get first step on a lot of bigs. So he gets around post players pretty well, and he could body them up even and take shots on a decent amount of post players because he's got the weight advantage as well to post up. And he's just he's a freak athlete that can do all, and also he could shoot the 3 ball sometimes as well. So you have to respect him from distance.
I think what impresses me the most about him, Ty, and this is going into my thing, but it's his ability to understand his role in the team and adapt to it, because it's not the same as it is for football. He's still a great leader. He's going to be a great leader no matter where he goes, whether it be leader in the sport, leader in life, leader at whatever job he does after he's done playing football. He's going to be a leader. But one of the things that impresses me, you see a lot of guys that maybe they're superstars in football, and then they want to carry that into basketball, or they're superstars in whatever sport they play in the fall or spring. Look, Bo's not the team's superstar. This team doesn't really have a superstar. They have a bunch of guys that just contribute double figures. But he understands what his team needs. He understands what he needs to do to let his team win, and he just goes and does it. He doesn't kind of sit there and think, well, I should be the star because I'm the star on the football field, or yada, yada, yada. He understands his role. He executes his role. I think there's a difference between understanding the role and accepting it. He understands it, he accepts it, and he executes it almost perfectly every night. So that's really impressive from a guy that, when you're talked about as much as Bo Brungard, I mean, you got to remember he's still 17, 18 years old. it's hard to not get an ego a little bit. He has never gotten one this whole career in high school sports, and he accepts his role on the basketball team. He leads that basketball team by accepting that role and showing everyone on that team and everyone in Springfield that no matter how talented you are, you got to be coachable. You got to be able to accept your role on whatever team you're on, and he's going to do that again wherever he goes. So that's what impresses me most about Bo Brungard, and it's highlighted more on the basketball court because football court, he's the quarterback. He's got the ball in his hands 75% of the time, and he's the guy that everyone circles. Okay, we have to stop Bo Brungard if we're gonna beat Springfield in football. He's not that guy in basketball. I would probably say that the guy that gets circled a lot in basketball is Adam Wary. So now he's all of a sudden he's a different role. He adjusts to it, he accepts it, and he still leads tremendously well. It's not easy to do for a young kid.
You brought up something, Anthony, when you talked about, he's still only 17, 18 years old. Like, I think about, and, I, living with cerebral palsy, much like you, Anthony, like, I played like backyard baseball and stuff like that, but never, in a team setting, organized sports. But I think, man, these guys are, especially from the interviews and what I've watched, not just the coaches, but the players. And Bo, his maturity, he's just mature beyond his years. And I think, man, if I was in that situation at that age, I don't know how it wouldn't go to my head. But with him, it just seems that he stays very humble. So it is really impressive. I just wanted your guys' thoughts. You mentioned Adam Wary a second ago, Anthony, and he had a great night with his 24-point performance. And then you had Jake Joyce as well. So they had three players in double figures. They got a tough test coming up shortly against LaBrea. They hit the road to take on the LaBrea Vikings. But obviously they're undefeated. They've had a tremendous year. But what do you think about this team as we get that much closer to the tournament time?
I think what makes Springfield most dangerous, and Ty, you can echo this if you want, but they just have guys that know how to win games. Forget this basketball; they just know how to win. They know how to make game-winning plays down the stretch. They've won a lot of close games this year by just making winning plays in the fourth quarter because they have guys that have been there, done that. I mean, they went to the regionals last year. They've been to a state championship in football. They've been to 2 state championships in football. They've been to a 3rd state tournament. They just know how to go out and make winning plays, and that's dangerous. The clutch gene is there for everybody, and that's why I think that's why they have multiple guys that can beat you. Jake Joyce is really starting to come on, which makes this team even more dangerous because now Rothwell, Brungard, Wary, Joyce, they can all beat you. They can all go in the double figures. And when you have 4 players like that, I mean, how do you defend that, really? You probably circle Adam Wary and say he's not beating us. But then they have 3 other players that can go off and score 10-plus and still beat you. They play really good defense, too, which I think gets underrated a bit. But this Springfield team is going to go far in this tournament. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I think they'll go far as well. They've beaten everyone that they've come against this season too. I mean, they've run the conference up and they've beaten everyone out of conference. This LaBrea team's going to be tough though. They play on the other side of that MVAC, and I mean they're coming off of a loss to Camel, and I guarantee you they're pretty pissed off about that loss to Camel. So you're gonna get a pretty mad LaBrea Vikings team that has some very talented players in Aiden Stevens and Trayvon Drake, Devin Carter. I mean, they got some guys that can beat you too. They're a pretty complete team, and I think it's going to be a fun game to watch these two teams run and gun, as they both can score in transition. But both these teams can play very good defense, and their live ball turnovers are what create so many transition opportunities.
And it hasn't been a cupcake schedule for Springfield either. I mean, they've played Poland out of conference, Gerard, South Range. They're playing the big boys out of conference.
They played Ursuline too.
Good.
Beat Ursuline. I mean, they've beaten some good quality programs around the area, and Springfield, these guys adding another notch to their belt. And I mean, I believe Bo Brungard's last sport that he'll be playing at Springfield, so he's just trying to go out with a bang.
And then you have last night. I mean, you got to go up against Gus Johnson. I mean, I was reading about him today, and DJ's like, yeah, he's a stud.
He's good.
You knew he would be with that name.
He's on the all-name team, that's for sure. Him and Thomas Cordero for Gerard both have a lot of talent. And this Gerard team, they won 3 games last year. And they're sitting at, I believe, 11 this year right now, if I'm not mistaken. Ty can double-check with that. But they have been much improved. It's almost the same roster as last year. I think it just goes into showing how well coached they are. They still got work to do. They still have growth to do. They're not where they want to be yet, but the strides they've made from last year to this year is just incredible.
And Ty also, I was very happy because I got to check it out myself. I got to hear you on the call last night of a city where I grew up in. Anytime anyone asks, I always say, I'm from Youngstown, because I feel like it's all, one big happy family if you're a Youngstowner. But once in a while, I'll bring up my early days where I lived in Sioux City, and that is Camel, or the city of Churches. But Ty, you got to call Kevin Moore and his dropping of 1,000 points last night. If I remember correctly, Camel had the one early loss to Lowville on the season, and I think they only even lost that one by 3 points, so they were right in that game. Just talk about what it was like calling Kevin Moore and witnessing that milestone last night. And Camels, they've just been a juggernaut. So did you expect this for the most part from the Red Devils this year, or have they taken you by surprise at least a little bit?
I think Anthony and I, when we did our kind of previews, when we talked with Coach Canarino in the preseason, I think we both kind of knew with what they had coming back this season, and Kevin Moore and surrounding cast, it was going to be a good team. And we knew they were going to be probably top seeds. In the top seeds, they were going to be a really good team. I don't know if we necessarily thought 20 regular season wins good, especially in that very tough MVAC Gray Conference. I don't know if we think that they were going to run the gauntlet so far and have an undefeated MVAC Gray Conference season so far. And you're right, since that loss to Lowville at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, I believe now it's 16 straight, including that win with LeBray. And you got to remember, it was a LeBray team that kind of kept them close. It was an overtime game last time before Camel pulled away late to get the 8-point victory. Camel handled it right out of the gates, jumped them 7-0 run. It was 9-2 before they knew it, and LeBray never held a lead, and Camel just shut out the game and came away with a victory. What it was just like, I mean, just the support system there for Camel was really, really cool, and that gym gets rocking. So seeing them pack that gym again on that home side and support Kevin Moore and support this team, also hoisting the MVAC championship for this season, outright title winners now for the MVAC. It was a cool moment too, because it's a Camel community that really has come out every game that I've been there and supported their community. They've gotten loud, and all the players and the coaches will tell you for the Red Devils that the entire support system and the Rockin' Red Devils is like what I like to call the fan support. Is really the sixth man on that court for them.
I gotta say, I love their floor too. It gets me just so jacked up for hoops.
They had that beautiful floor, loud fans, and they brought the Red Devil out last night too. So they had the Red Devil walking around last night.
You know what I'm most impressed with Camel, and then we'll get to Scotty's trivia challenge. Maturity. Like, I know they're senior leaders, but they come back into this fold. The one question I had coming into this season is, okay, how is this kind of new look team with a bunch of guys that are coming back into the program going to gel and be able to handle adversity when things get hard? Or, you know, when teams push them, when they go down a little bit, when they lose a game. They have answered every challenge to that. They have played together as a team throughout all the adversity. And that's something that I didn't know if I thought it would be as strong. I'd be like, okay, is the chemistry going to be strong throughout the lulls of the season? Like, everyone expects them to be high flying. It's going to be fun when they're winning. How are they going to handle losing? How are they going to handle being down in the game? And they've handled that wonderfully. The mental maturity and the mental toughness of this team has really been a pleasant surprise for me watching Campbell this year. We knew they were talented, but could they be mentally tough? They've answered that with an absolute yes.
One final thing I just want to say, too, with the seniors that came back, you got to remember there was already seniors on the squad, 8 seniors, too, and only 5 starting spots. And they start a freshman, too, primarily. And you talk about the maturity. I think it also plays into the fact that the seniors that had to have their minutes cut down and they're coming in off of the bench and having those roles, they didn't let that affect them, and it's never been a head case thing, and that's what Coach Canarino will say. They don't care who's scoring the ball, just that they're scoring, and that's huge that these guys all buy into the team, and when you see your 8 seniors doing that, it's a lot easier for the younger guys to buy in and say that's the standard.
All right, Scotty, you officially have 14 minutes. It is 1:16. I'm giving you till 1:30. You are down, I believe the score is 74-38. You got some work to do, but you got a lot of time to still do it.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of maturity, and it's something, you know, I've had to learn to develop with Ty. Got to have like that closer's mentality. Even if you keep giving up bombs, you got to have that short memory and act like it never happened. So it's
Johnny, you're just going to let him throw up an advisory thing every time you talk like that? You don't think you're okay with Anthony not trusting what
Scotty's fine. I accidentally put up the I went to switch
to when Scott.
Oh man,
what Scotty says is not reflected.
I said it to me once today, and I get the advisory. Oh man, come on, man. But anyway, to lead off, I tried to get. I try to take the obscureness to the max here with these questions today, Ty. So we'll see how you can do. But my first one to lead off the show for today, as I know you know, Ty, the last time the All-Star game, the NBA All-Star game, the last time it was in Cleveland was the 1996-97 season. It was in Cleveland. I wanted to know from you, Ty, that the greatest player of all time, considered to be the greatest player of all time, the GOAT by many people, of course, Michael Jordan played in that game. I just wanted to know from you, Ty, how many points did his Ernest score in that 1997 All-Star game in Cleveland? The East came out on top, 132-120 against the Western Conference. Glenn Rice was the MVP of the game, but I want to know from you, Ty, how many points Jordan scored. Silence. I know those wheels are spinning.
Yeah, and silence usually means that you're in trouble.
Yeah, I'm screwed.
I'm trying to think of the starters in that All-Star game. Because you mentioned Glenn Rice, but he was a reserve. I know Jordan and Pippen were starters. I know Mutombo was on there because I think it was featured on The Last Dance. I know this wasn't part of the question. I'm just having fun trying to think of the starters. I think Grant Hill was on it.
And there's one more that he had a tremendous 3-year run where he was elite. Then he started having injuries. I know that
Might have been Anthony Hardaway. I think it might have been.
You got him.
I think Michael Jordan had 14 in that game because it was balanced scoring because Glenn Rice had 26. And I think Hardaway actually had 20 or something like that too. He had a pretty good game.
Oh man.
That's one for Ty.
Yeah.
79 to 38. 75 to 38.
Swing and a miss again for me. The other question I had for you, Ty, sticking with the NBA here, I want to know, Vancouver was the original home of the Grizzlies when they first became a team, and then after that, obviously, they relocated to Memphis, and they're one of the feel-good stories of the NBA this year. But I want to know from you, what year did the Grizzlies, leave Vancouver and relocate to Memphis?
I'm walking to Memphis.
I thought he was going to get this like a layup.
I think, Vancouver.
He's taking this gather step.
Established in 95, and I think it lasted in Vancouver for 6 years. So it would have probably been 2001 then. So I'm going to go with 01 is when they moved to Memphis.
That's right.
You just toy with me, man. You just flat out.
I toy with him.
Yeah.
76 to 38 now.
There you go again. At the top of the show, we talked about, or I brought up a little bit for a second, the baseball strike and how we're not going to have the pros start on time, but we have YSU baseball coming up starting Friday. But anyway, the last time there was a Major League Baseball strike, to my knowledge, I do believe it was that 1994 season. In Thai, I think this is going to be the easiest one because you seem to just have, so much, even more knowledge when it comes to Cleveland sports. But I thought, maybe I could get them here, sneak this in, and maybe get them. As you know, this season we didn't have a World Series, but I want to know from you, the Indians finished second in the American League Central that year when it was all said and done. What was their final record in 1994? And of course, they're now the Guardians. I know I'm saying Indians, but
They were just trailing the White Sox, if I'm correct, during that season. They were actually having a pretty good year, I think, post All-Star break. And they were garnering a lot of momentum. I think at the time of the strike, before they went 144 in the 95 shortened season, they were 66-47 the year prior. Because I think I read something about them winning.
That's the face of defeat.
That would have been 166 games in less than 200, or 200 games played in 166 1 or something like that.
Scotty's right.
Can I just get one here?
77 to 58.
I mean,
I can get you one.
what's your question, Anthony.
I don't think
use a lifeline here.
he might. I don't know. Ty is. I never say he'll never get something, but I got one just in case he needed help. Ty yesterday, Georgia Tech gave out Chris Bosh jerseys to their students to honor Chris Bosh, who was on the Georgia Tech basketball team, won ACC Rookie of the Year in 2002-2003. Here's the question. How many points per game does Chris Bosh have in his career at Georgia Tech?
I want to say I think it was 15. I think it was 15 points per. Because I liked Chris Bosh a lot when he went to the Raptors, but I don't know if it's right. I don't remember him too much.
I want exact. I don't want this 15. You got to give me the exact.
Oh, man, he wants exact.
You're a robot. You're getting the hard stuff.
No softballs for the Android.
No way. No way.
Softballs, he said. I'm trying to think. It might.
I'll make it easier. I'll make it just a little bit easier. And we're gonna stop. We're gonna give you a half a point if I have to give you a hint. So, you want a hint, or do you want the?
I might just outright guess.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say 15.0.
No, you're wrong. I could have given you a half a point, but you're wrong. And I feel like it would have been wrong. Even I was gonna say round up to the nearest 10. So it's either above 15.5 or lower than 15.5. And it's not. It's higher than 15.5 because it's 15.6 points per game in 31 games at Georgia Tech. There you go, Scotty.
I'm on the
He still had
board.
15. He pulled out 15 points.
Yeah. Still, man.
I was off by a few.
Okay, Ty.
By a sixth of a point.
If you just get this one, I might just roll out of here early.
Make it a quick one.
Yeah, real quickly here. Let's see if you get this one, Ty. Many of us, if you're a baseball, if you follow baseball a long time, we all know about the Montreal Expos and how they had the great the team in the 90s. I believe it was that same year, the 94. But, of course, they're no longer in Montreal. And I wanted to know from you, Ty, what was the Expos record, their final season in Montreal? What was their overall record?
Ty, 30 seconds on the clock now. That's all you get because the time's running short. This has got to be a rapid question to answer.
I think it was 67 and 95 because they finished either worst or second worst in the league, and they had some of the worst attendance at like.
Scotty's already smiling. You got him.
At 1,700, so they were getting like 1,700 people in a thing. So not great attendance at all for the Expos. 2004, I think, was their final season too.
I don't know how to beat him. Like he's just.
I'm telling you, bring some Winter Olympic questions next week.
Okay.
Who won the gold medal in curling in 1984?
Or just be super obsessed with Georgia Tech like Anthony and always pull out Georgia Tech questions. Like, I just need to study Georgia Tech trivia, and I got Anthony beat. Georgia Tech, Royals, Chiefs.
I mean, you got 15.
You got 15 points.
You were
I
in
don't know
the
where you pulled that out.
Yeah.
I really like Chris Bosh when he went to the Raptors. So
I really did. I was a huge.
I learned his college stats at like the back of my hand.
I'm a big stats guy. I like stats.
Nerd. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Scotty, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me again. It's my pleasure.
You do a great job, like always. We appreciate what you bring. We appreciate your trivia, even though today was a rough day for you. Next week will be better. 78-39 is the score, running total right now. Ty has the lead.
You're
We'll
doing
be back on
things,
Running
Scotty,
Point.
but you got sniped today.
We'll be back on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
Every customer has a story, and at Greenwood Chevrolet, we are committed to making sure it ends with you in the right vehicle. I get to be part of somebody's adventure, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their finances. They trust me to take care of them, and they trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Working with your family can be stressful at times, but because they're family, you know that you're going to get a loving, honest answer, even when things don't make sense to any problem. Dealing with Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. That's why here at Myers Family Insurance, we do our best to give you honest and caring answers to all of your questions. Family, like Medicare, isn't always perfect, but when you put others first, the results can be amazing.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air,
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
online,
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
on social media, and on our app.
Notice we'll have scattered showers on Thursday.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Jimmy Sutton here, Director of Isle, Purple Cat, and Golden String. We are happy to support YSN and two of my favorite people, Scotty Mincher and Super Dave O'Malley. We are an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities. We infuse humor, passion, and joy into their lives. If you know of any folks with disabilities that need our assistance, please contact us.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
Dealing with Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. That's why here at Myers Family Insurance, we do our best to give you honest and caring answers to all of your questions. Family, like Medicare, isn't always perfect, but when you put others first, the results can be amazing.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig alongside Mr. Ty Bartell, and we continue this Wednesday edition. We are patiently awaiting the arrival of Coach Blatch, who should be here any minute to talk about his matchup tonight with Pymatuning Valley and how his season has gone. I'm excited because he was the first basketball coach we talked to, so it's been a long while since we've talked to Coach Blatch.
He kicked off the preseason, and he's going to kick off the postseason. And I love it. I love it because we have a whole season in between to kind of talk about and the growth we've seen from this team and a lot of excitement moving forward, I think.
Here is the man himself, Coach Aaron Blatch. Coach, we just said before you got here, you kicked off our season of basketball coaches. Now you're going to kick off our postseason too.
No, that's great. Thank you for having me on.
Coach, I mean, now we have 22 games to talk about in between the preseason last time we talked to you, and now you guys went 11-11 with some great new faces, great senior leaders leading your way, but Lavraine Gaskins leading 4 major stat categories as a freshman. Exciting times in Crestview. What have you seen that you've been really impressed from this team this year?
Yeah, our ladies have just done a great job all season. We started out being a really young group as far as, we are playing a couple freshmen big minutes, a couple sophomores big minutes. Our older girls were a big part of our success last year as well, but even they're in a little bit different roles this year based on, girls that we had graduated and our dynamic being a little different. So we weren't really sure what to expect coming in. They've worked hard all year. We got off to a really rough start. We were 1-5 at one point through 6 games, and but I give our girls a ton of credit. They bring it every day at practice. They hung in there. They stuck together as a team, and we've been on a pretty good roll lately. We picked up some really solid wins to be able to finish the season at 500. After the 1-5 start, I think is I couldn't have asked for anything more than that. And you mentioned our seniors, Emily Hill and Carson Moore and McKenna Schultz have just kind of kept us steady. I think they do a great job helping the younger girls feel comfortable and feel confident. In addition to all the things they're doing on the court as well. So they've been huge for us, and I like where we are right now.
Can you really put into words how important this particular senior class will be for the growth of your program? Because like you said, you have a lot of freshmen, sophomores that are going to be a part of this program for a while, and they've had this year to learn under some really good senior leadership. Can you really put into words how important this particular senior class is going to be when you look at your program 2 or 3 years from now and the growth that these freshmen have?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, an expression that I really like is success leaves footprints, and I think that this senior group, their footprints are going to be with us even after, they've moved on to the next level. They're such good kids. All 3 of them are just really high character girls. And, and again, sometimes it could be a challenge when you have some older girls and you also have some younger girls coming in that are featured pretty prominently. I mean, you mentioned Lavraine. Lavraine's been phenomenal, leading scorer, leading rebounder, block shots, all that. Our seniors have done nothing but be welcoming and accepting of those younger girls coming in. There hasn't been any animosity. I think that's huge because, as I've talked to other coaches that have maybe been in similar situations, it's, our older girls and younger girls don't get along. We haven't had any of that. I think it's been a really good team dynamic this year, which has made it a lot easier on our coaching staff as well.
How do you think faring in this tough MVAC grade conference is going to help the improvement of these younger girls going forward?
Yeah, I think our league, for a D3 league in our area, I think is extremely strong. I think we're tournament ready as a result of that schedule. Sometimes it can be frustrating at times because we don't really get much of an off night. We're playing good competition every night in the MVAC. But I do think long term, when you look at what our team, and those young girls that you mentioned, are forced to handle every day. I mean, you've got girls, Reagan Edwards and Emily Downey are our 2 main ball handlers. Like, they are seeing quality, aggressive, athletic pressure just about every night. Like, they're going to get better very quickly. They have gotten better very quickly as a result of that. So I really hope that that's going to pay off come tournament time. We're playing a really solid Pomatuning Valley team tonight. Has a lot of good players, but one advantage that we have is our schedule is just a lot tougher. and our league, I think, has prepared us to hopefully be successful tonight.
The one time that we've been able to see Pymaginning Valley in the area on a YSN network on the YSN team, they played Brookfield, and it was a pretty competitive game, but Brookfield pulled away late. When you watch the teams that you play and you preview this Pymaginning Valley team, what challenges do they kind of present, and what do you think you guys are going to have to do to win this game tonight?
Yeah, they're good. I think they're coming in with 14 wins. I think they have played well. They've got some good size, some good length. I'm sure they're going to send some bodies at Lavraine tonight. They've got a tall, long, athletic post player that can finish inside and block shots. They've got another strong, tough kid that can shoot it. Guard play solid. They have some pretty good depth. I mean, they're a complete team. I think it's absolutely going to be a challenge. I expect them to try to get up into us and try to turn us over a little bit. Like any game, we've got to take care of the ball. I think that's going to be a huge priority. We've got to get to their shooters. We know they've got 2 or 3 girls that, are their leading scorers and can shoot the three. We need to locate. But I just think we need to be the best version of ourselves. Something I've been happy about as the season's gone on. I know Lavraine's gotten, rightfully so, a lot of attention. She's earned that. But, man, like we played Hubbard a week ago. I mean, Hubbard threw 3 people at her and just kind of left everybody else. Well, Emily Hill hit 5 threes, had 19 points. We've seen Emily Downey step up and knock down shots. We've seen Carson and Katie Lissy and McKenna and Reggett. And, everybody we're putting out there is a very capable offensive player. So I think that, Lavraine's going to get hers. That's what she does. But everybody else needs to play with a lot of confidence and be ready to step in and make some shots because, I'm sure when they're looking at us on tape, the game plan's probably going to start with the 6'1" redhead that leads us in most categories. So they're going to try to get to her for sure.
Coach, I mean, you guys have had a phenomenal home record this season. Talk to me about how important having that Crestview community back in that gymnasium was for you guys this year.
Yeah, it's been nice this year. Certainly not, but some of the regulations have eased up. It's been great having a little bit more of a home crowd this year. We've always played well here. What I like, though, early in the year, I felt like we played very well at home, and we really had some games where we struggled badly on the road. We're actually coming in with 3 straight road wins, too, which I think, given that we weren't able to get a home game in the tournament, I think it's a nice confidence boost. But, all things equal, we'd much rather be playing this game tonight at our place. Our fans and parents and supporters are great. But we're going to look to try to keep that same momentum going on the road tonight.
Coach, the great coaches we talk to always say that they learn as much from their students as they teach them. This group in particular, what have they taught you as a coach, and what have been your biggest takeaways of this season that the players have taught you about your own coaching style that you can take away into your future as a coach?
That's a great question. I said we just have unbelievable kids. I think just the importance of communication and learning more and more to over communicate. We've got girls that I think that every kid on our team is just such a high character person. If there's something that, sometimes as coaches, we can't please everybody. Sometimes a kid might be in a different role than what they'd like to be or whatever that may be. But I think we've had a lot of success just being able to talk it out with those girls. And sometimes it's not what they want to hear, and sometimes it's not what I want to hear. But through those ups and downs that every season is going to bring, I just think we've been able to kind of communicate our way through that. And I think we're in a good place right now. But I think that, that this group has been extremely enjoyable to get to work with every day. We're blessed for that senior group, and and these underclassmen coming on, I think have done a great job as well.
Anthony and I have talked on Running Point before about how impressive the Crestview basketball program, both on boys and girls side, is. It's an impressive program that has some impressive leaders throughout it. What kind of responsibility do you take as a coach now, being the head of the ship of this Crestview program that has has been successful throughout the years? I mean, decades plus, always has successful teams. It seems like turning out.
This is year 5 for me in this position, and I feel like I'm trying to grow and learn and improve every year. But something I try to do is kind of have my hand in at every level of the program. We've got I'm blessed to have a great staff on the high school level, on the middle school level, on the youth level. But we try to do a lot with our younger kids. Over the summer and in the preseason, going all the way down to like kindergarten, trying to support and give feedback to like our youth coaches and teams, I think is really important. We on the middle school level, my brother Ethan and Donna Finch did a great job with our 7th and 8th grade girls this year. Really enjoyed getting to see them and trying to be involved as much as I can there. Being a head coach, obviously there are a lot of responsibilities. I mean, we're very much all in on Pymatuning Valley, but we also need to, in the back of my mind, not in our players' mind, but it's, hey, if we're fortunate enough to get a win tonight, what are we doing against Kirtland? And what are we doing in the next one? And, always trying to kind of be a little bit ahead as far as scouting and game plan and film go. But I think that this is a great place. I think it's a great place to coach because I've consistently been supported, by our administration. We have great leaders in the building. I've got a great mentor in Coach Gates on the boys' side, as a person that I have a ton of respect and admiration for. Our parents are extremely supportive, and that certainly trickles down to our players. So, there's a lot of aspects that go into it, and trust me, we don't have everything figured out yet. There's plenty of things that I'm still working to improve, but I think we have the program in a nice place.
Coach, one of the things that I don't think gets talked about enough when talking to coaches is the sacrifices that they make to do what they do, and not just them, but their families make as well. Basketball is the longest season. It goes from October to, if you make a deep enough run, it could go into March. I mean, talk about your family and what they kind of go through and how proud you are and how blessed you are to have them constantly be able to say that you can do this. And it is your 5th year in Crestview, and hopefully you're going to continue to coach for a while after this year as well.
That's a huge element. The time commitment does definitely put a strain at times. I mean, there's just not enough hours in the day. My wife really does a great job, supporting me, taking care of things at home. She's phenomenal. My wife, Kimmy. I have 4 young kids as well. My oldest daughter, Kinsley, is in 2nd grade. Got a son, Camden, a 3-year-old Kyla, and a 1-year-old Keegan. So it's hectic at home, but it's great. I'm really blessed to have the family that I do. And honestly, when we had Keegan, our latest, I mean, I asked my wife, like, do you want me to quit? To step down from this position, just because I wasn't sure how well we were going to be able to manage it. But she was adamant that, she knows this is something that I love to do. And, she's been extremely supportive through that whole thing. I love to get the kids involved with our team as much as we can. I think our girls are great role models for them. We had a team dinner 2 weeks or so ago, and my whole family went, which was nice. Kinsley, a lot of times at home games, comes out and is on the bench with us. She's really into basketball, so she loves kind of being able to interact with our team and see what's going on. Camden, my son, the other day, we're sitting at home and he's asking me how to spell out names. He wanted to draw pictures for some of the girls on our team and kind of make them little cards. So I try to keep them involved, but it is tough at times. I mean, because I'm not home as much as what I would like to be some nights.
I've seen some of the plays that Kinsley can draw up. I mean, I'm sure they've made it to your playbook. They might make it to the playbook tonight.
Yeah, that's certainly true. She's really into basketball. Nice player. So puts a lot of time in, and no, she very much tries to think like a coach as well. So she's fun.
Coach, my final question for you too, and it's gonna be two-part. With being at Crestview for 5 years, I want to know first, what's the biggest thing you've learned about yourself from year 1 to year 5? And with this senior group of girls, we always ask seniors to reflect for us, but you've had these girls now from freshman to senior year, most of them, or all of them, I presume. So what is it like now to reflect on these seniors and their growing points through 4 years?
Good questions. I think as far as I'm concerned, I just think the need to constantly be improving and evolving and getting better. I'm obsessed with improvement. And I think for myself, as much as anybody on our team, there's a lot of things over the years that I think that I've kind of figured out and I'm in the process of figuring out. I'm sure when we wrap up, there's definitely going to be things that I sit down and think with myself and talk over with our staff and, hey, how could we have done a better job here? What moving forward, what do we want to try to accomplish next year? I just think never being complacent because we're in a good spot right now, but we're not where we want to be big picture. I think that, we have plenty of goals out in front of us, and for the program to get to where we want it to be, I definitely need to keep getting better and evolving. So I think that's a big thing for me. These seniors, again, I can't say enough good things about them. To me, I think it's more the off the court stuff. I mean, all three, they're talented players. They've been a part of, I think, 55 or 50 some wins, I think, in their tenure. They're a huge part of the on the court success. But I just really enjoy, the relationships and being able to talk to them off the court. And, I'm just really proud of the people that they are. And they've always been good kids. But seeing them kind of grow up and continue to mature over the years has been fun for me and for other members of our staff. And, I'm really excited to see kind of where life takes them next, because I know all three are going to be very successful.
Coach, thank you so much for the time today. We love our chances to talk to you. We wish you the best of luck tonight. Congratulations on the great regular season. But we certainly know that your job's not done, and we hope that this tournament run can go as far as humanly possible for you guys.
Hey, we're going to do our best. We're very excited, and I appreciate everything that you guys do and giving me the opportunity. I love to talk about our players. They're doing a great job, and hopefully we can keep it rolling for a while longer.
Hope to talk to you again real soon, Coach. Thanks,
you, guys.
Coach Aaron Blatch of the Crestview girls basketball team getting ready for their tournament game tonight at Pymatuning Valley. If they win, they'll be on the road again against Kirtland, so no home games, unfortunately, for Crestview, but part of me thinks that they don't mind that.
Yeah, I mean, they should be fine too, and they should fare well. I think Coach Blatch has done a great job with this team, and I think some of the young girls have really stepped up. The senior leaders are doing their thing as well. It's an exciting team, definitely right now, and I think a lot of excitement swirling for what it can be going forward as well.
All right, as our time today dwindles down, let's go over the games that will be on the network tonight and remind everybody. Let me bring myself back on the show real quick. Remind everybody that tonight's games, the tournament games, will be pay-per-view. $9.99 gets you access to all the games on the network tonight, and that is due to the charges that the OHSA is putting on us to stream these games. So we have to, we don't really love to do it, but we do have to put in the pay-per-view slots to make sure that we're not paying out the wazoo, whatever a wazoo is. We'd be paying out of it. So we go to tonight, and it is going to be, first of all, there is one regular season game. It will be free on the network. It's Oak Glen at Beaver Local. That game happening. Michael McKenzie will be on the call. 7 o'clock tip for that. That is going to be free because it is a regular season game. Now we go to playoffs. Niles at West Branch will be at 7 o'clock. All these games will be at 7 o'clock, by the way. Michael will have the call there. Lakeview at Poland. The Lakeview students are going to be heading to Poland to do that game. Hubbard at Cardinal Mooney. The Hubbard students will be heading to Cardinal Mooney to do that one. Jefferson will be traveling to Girard tonight. Noah Rex will be on the call there. Notre Dame Cathedral Latin against Struthers. This could be a really good one. We know NDCL has a sneaky hard schedule, as Bob Zaney and the crew will have a call there for Struthers. Wycliffe at Girard, their school will be handling that game, and they do a wonderful job down there for us. Brian Oatridge making the trip to Champion as they take on St. Thomas Aquinas at home. East Palestine traveling to Liberty. Alec Caberna will have the call there. South Range will host Grand Valley, and the winner will go to Waterloo. I will be there. 7 o'clock tip. LeBray will travel to United. Chris Sigler on the call there. That could be a really good one. LeBray on the harder side of the MVAC, the one that has more teams with 10 wins or plus. So we'll see how that goes. And MVAC grade tier matchup. Camel Memorial travels to Brookfield. Matt Morrison on the call there. Matthews at Lowville. Eric Hughes will have the call. Heartland Christian at McDonald. Ian O'Brien will be in the Blue Devils gym for that one. Richie Giuliano making the trip to Western Reserve as they host Wellsville in the first round. Latonia will be hosting Valley Christian. Ewell will be at that one for the Bears Den in their first round matchup. Springfield hosting Sebring. Noah Doty on the call there. East Canton at Warren JFK. Dom O'Brien will have the call at that one. And then finally, it'll be the Newton Falls School crew taking care of their home game against Wyndham, all on the network tonight, all $9.99. And once again, that will get you access to all those games for one payment of $9.99. Gets you access to every 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 tournament games on the network tonight that you'll get access to with the $9.99 payment.
I mean, that's less than $1 per game right there, folks. I mean, it's still a great deal for you, and you get to tune into a bunch of great tournament games around the area.
This has been asked a couple of times on Twitter, so I will reiterate it too. Let's say you're going to go to the South Range Grand Valley game, and when you get home, you want to watch La Brea United. Just throwing the games out there. The games will be available to play, but like if you pay $9.99 beforehand, you'll be able to go on when you get home and just rewind that La Brea United game and watch it in its entirety, like DVR style. As long as you do it before it gets taken down by Brian the next day. So you get back home, you want to watch one of the other games. As long as you pay that $9.99, you follow that download link that's emailed to you, you will be able to rewind and play it like you would a DVR recording.
Yep. Get on it, folks. We got a boatload of playoff games tonight for you.
Tomorrow, we'll talk about them all.
Right here on Running
Point. It'll be fun. 12 to 2. We're taking a 22-hour break, and the Casual Sports Podcast coming up right next. 2 to 3, Power Hour from 3 to 4, and then 18 tournament games, 1 regular season game on the network tonight, 19 total. And that'll be fun to talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow, all of our sectional finals will be set. And then by Saturday, we'll know all of our district teams. It's going to be a fun time. We'll be back tomorrow, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Tune in to some basketball, and we will see you tomorrow.